I can actually teach you everything about swimming, the strokes, the breathing techniques, and how to stay afloat when you're in water. But the moment you jump into the water, all that knowledge will actually become completely useless if you haven't actually embodied what it means to actually swim. So practice is what helps you learn and truly embody the art of swimming. This is exactly what's happening with most of the wisdom that we're seeing in today's world. There is so much difference in knowing something and actually being it and embodying whatever it is that you know about. So, hey, my name is Eva, intuitive healer. I can help you get unstuck if you're stuck in your energetic, mental, emotional states. I help you clear whatever blockages are keeping you from connecting to that through authentic self expression, awakening your gifts, awakening your potential, so they can truly start creating change and transformation in different aspects of your life. I'm going to be sharing more on that at the end of this video. I am certified quantum flow specialist and also soul alignment practitioner. Soul alignment is basically working with the Akashic records to help you, first of all, get in touch with and connect you to who you are at soul level. Who are you designed to be? Before you started making all these choices that completely made you get lost and lose sight of who you are and your true purpose in life. So if you're really stuck in life, maybe you're not aware, who am I? What am I here to do? What are my gifts and all of that? Soul element will be a great fit for you. And will also help you understand why certain experiences and certain people have been recurring in your life. And with quantum flow, I help you embody those lessons, embody that transformation within your body because healing is just not focused on the mind. Most people focus so much on the mind and they forget that the body also stores the memory of the pain and the trauma and the emotional wounds that you've gone through. So with quantum flow, we're combining techniques using breathwork, sound, and movement to help you release whatever blockages are within your body. But again, I'm going to be explaining that and how you can tap into that with my 6 week course program where I'm going to be taking you one-on-one through this journey of soul element and quantum flow. But first of all, let's dive into the video. The difference between actually knowing and actually embodying the knowledge that you know. I'm going to be sharing 3 life examples from my own life and also things that I've seen that might actually help you truly understand the concept I'm trying to drive here. The first thing is, growing up, my mom was always drum into me how essential forgiving people was. She always tell me, don't hold on to grudges. Yes, I know people have made you angry. I know they've done so much wrong to you, but it's not good for you to carry the pain in your heart. You gotta let it go. And my younger self would obviously just look at her like she was, doesn't know what she's talking about because whatever had been done to me or to us as a family, for me, I considered it to be a big betrayal. So I didn't understand how do you forgive someone from acting in such an unfair way? Like it didn't make sense to me. And she kept on talking about forgiveness and even went ahead to demonstrate what forgiveness was because she will never go out of her way to to make someone who would hurt her feel bad or punish them. She would always do her best to be good to the people who'd hurt her. Never used to make sense until now I started my healing journey and I'm starting to tap into the concept of now spirituality, personal development, and now I get introduced to forgiveness from a whole different angle. So now instead of now hearing it, because growing up I had all this knowledge about forgiveness, 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 and I'm learning also about forgiveness from my teachers. I decided, you know what, I'm going to test it out in my life. I'm going to try and forgive those people who had hurt me in the past, right? And I started doing that. And the most amazing thing happened. Just from me tapping into forgiveness, of course, I started small before I dived into, the bigger hearts and all of that. But when I started tapping into forgiveness, I found myself shifting how I was showing up in the world. And because I was shifting my inner reality, my outer reality also started reflecting the same. Now, all of a sudden, those people who would cause me so much grief, all of a sudden just started disappearing from my life without me doing anything. The only thing I was doing was just focusing on sending them love and just focusing on forgiving whatever hurt that they put me through. And just by doing that, because I was changing my internal state, they had to be removed from my life, or they kind of like, whenever you're changing your inner state, anything that's not a vibrational match to that has to be removed. So I started seeing that happen. And that is when I actually understood this is what forgiveness is. This is what my mom had taught me for so many years to embody. And I couldn't get it. But now I had the deeper understanding of it based on my own experience. So right now, I embody forgiveness because I've seen the true transformational aspects in my own life. And again, whatever teachings you're tapping into, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have in your mind. I mean, we live in a crazy information age. And I know I've said it so many times on this channel, like it's the information that's out there, it's a lot. If you're not careful, if you don't know what you're working on, it's very easy to get lost in all of this noise, right? So you have to be super, super keen on that you're not so consumed on the learning aspect because I don't think you'll ever stop learning because every single day there's always something new to learn, right? Don't get so much or so lost in trying to understand all of these things at a mind level and not actually embodying these lessons within you through your everyday experiences, the everyday choices you make, your everyday interactions. If you're not incorporating the knowledge that you have into your day-to-day experience, nothing ever really changes. You're still stuck in the same, regardless of how much you actually know. The second example is something that just happened to me just a couple of days ago, where I was having an experience with a friend of mine. So I was trying to introduce them to a certain product that I had, just discovered or something. So I sent my friend the video and I'm like telling them, just check it out. But my friend couldn't check it out because to check it out, they had to sign up for something. And they were unwilling to sign up for whatever. You had to register to actually watch the video. They were not willing to do that because, of their own reasons. And I completely respected that. And she set those boundaries with me. And me and my friend, we talk about boundaries all the time and how important it is to, stand your ground, self-care, self-love, making sure you know how to say no to the things that are not aligned and all of that. Like we talk about this, not just with her, but this is something that I embody. But just from that one experience, and I was just reflecting on, I wasn't trying to push my friend into doing something that was not aligned to them. But I just sat down and it just hit me like, wow, how beautiful is it that just by my friend setting that boundary with me, it kind of like gave me permission to do the same with regards to her. So that even if she's approaching me with something that I know I'm not aligned with, she's opened up the door for me to be able to say no and not feel guilty about it. And it just helps me understand that so beautifully because we talk about boundaries all the time, right? Put yourself first and all of that. Like, don't do things that just don't feel aligned and all of that. Don't overgive, don't allow other people to drain you. We talk about boundaries and all of that. But I just understood it from a different perspective, just based on that one-time experience, in that just by someone setting the boundaries, you're giving permission for the other person to do the same in their own life. So that they're not also always saying yes to you just to please you, especially when they're not in alignment. You open up that door. You give them the power to say no to you. I know maybe sometimes you don't like, when people say no to us, especially if it's something that we really need them to do and all of that. But it's such a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful gift to give to someone else, to give them the permission to just be who they are. And just from that experience, it just helped me embody that lesson in such a beautiful way. And I've been talking about boundaries my entire life. But that experience just helped me understand it on a whole different level. This is what I'm talking about when you're talking about embodiment. Now, the third example I'll give you is uh, started seeing stories about NBA player Kobe Bryant. So this is a guy who was a legend during his time. He passed away, I think, in 2020. And my For You page started suggesting videos of him and, people sharing stories about his work ethic. And the thing, and I'm not talking about, who he was as a person, it's what he did with his career. right? His work ethic, his discipline, his passion for the game, that you're hearing people just share the stories of how he was like on a whole other level. I mean, and I thought I understood what passion is, but just listening to these people share about this guy's passion and how dedicated he was to his craft just took passion to me on a whole new level. I don't even know what that level of passion is. I thought I knew it. Just hearing those stories just helped me understand, oh, there's another deeper level of passion that I don't know about. And just to give you a backstory about who this guy was, some of these people are sharing about. I mean, this, like athletes have to have a certain level of mindset when they're going into competition, to be the best of their craft, right? They don't have room to doubt themselves and feel sorry for themselves and all of that. And some of the athletes are sharing their experiences with this guy that, one guy was saying that he was so determined he was going to be the first one, or, to wake up and be at the breakfast table, so that when the other people are coming in, they can see like he's a hard worker and all of that, only to get to the dining hall. Yes, he is among the first people, but guess who he finds there? Kobe Bryant seated down with ice packs on his knees. And it just hit him that not only was this guy way up earlier than me, he actually had time to work out. He just woke up and just decided to go for breakfast just to be among the first people to wake up. But this guy had already gone, done a workout, was actually sweating and was currently recovering and was now having breakfast. And just from seeing that, it blew his mind the level of work ethic this guy had. And that just it's introduced me to a whole new concept of what true passion is. When people are saying that this person would breathe and only concentrate on information that will help him better his craft. So a whole other level of discipline that he wouldn't waste his time on things that didn't help him be the best basketball player that he could be. And I'm just seeing that. And I'm like, okay, that's a whole new level of passion and discipline that I didn't know about. I have my own experience with it, but not to that level. So, what I'm tapping into, again, it's not to judge in case you're not in that level yet. What I'm trying to say to you is that you can have such a mindset. You can have all these teachings embodied within your mind and what I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do, but the true knowledge is one that is actually embodied, one that you don't even have to think about it. It's just who you are. You just show up as that. Like you live and breathe that. Like I can teach you about love from morning to evening and explain to you the different nuances of what love feels like. But if you haven't gone through the experience of it, you will never be truly able to understand what love is. So, how do you embody this wisdom? It's your day to day choices, your day to day interactions, your day to day relationship, whatever kind of experiences you're tapping into on a day to day basis. Those are the opportunities to help you fully embody whatever it is that you're learning, to practice them. And then once you've practiced them, now you move into the integration part where you're not having to think, you just are. It's the same way like you've been walking your entire life. Explain to me how you walk. Most people have actually never, I would say for me personally, I have never actually understood the mechanics of walking. I know how to walk, put one foot in front of the other and all, like it's already ingrained in me, right? You don't have to teach me that. That's the level of embodiment I want you to have. That you're not having to think, do I do this? You just are that person. It's just part of who you are. And once you get to that level, you're on a whole different aspect of yourself. That is when you truly become a whole new being just by embodying this wisdom. You don't have to think about forgiveness. You don't have to think about being resilient. You just are resilient. Not even a matter of question of you thinking, okay, so what am I supposed to do in this case? You just show up as that. That's the level I would love for you to aim for. So for me, right now, I will say, based on these videos I'm watching with Kobe Bryant, now that's a whole new level of passion and discipline I didn't even know existed. So I'm reading about it right now, but the true embodiment will be when it now becomes part of who I am. I'm not just reading about it. I'm not just having a mind kind of like level of understanding, but it just becomes how I show up in the world. So based on that, I love to know, what are you working on based on the insights I've shared in this video? What are those concepts, those ideas, those teachings that you tapped into that you can explain to someone so well, but you haven't truly embodied within you, but you love to embody that. It could be discipline, it could be passion, it could whatever it is. Do share in the comments below and let us be your witness to whatever journey you're embarking on. I hope you've liked the video, so share your comments in the box down below and do subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any time I share out any kind of material. And I did promise I was going to share with you at the end of this video the beautiful program that I have that actually incorporates quantum flow and solar element to help you truly embody and connect to that authentic aspect of you. Awaken your true gifts. Help you connect to your purpose, help you connect to that higher aspect of yourself, your inner guidance, clear out whatever is blocking you from tapping into that intuitive knowing that guides you on what decisions, on how you're supposed to show up in the world. So if you're curious about this, maybe you're feeling stuck in emotional, like nothing seems to be changing, this program will be a good fit for you. What are you working on? Do share in the comments below. Love and blessings.